let's talk social media. I'm CM Coleman. Welcome to my life on YouTube. Today I want to hit on the subject of social media and using it to advance your YouTube channel. Now, a lot of you are saying, but I don't need social media because I make great content. It's the best content out there, and I can just put my content out there and put tags on it and catchy titles and thumbnails, and that's all it's going to take for me to be a success. And I thought the same thing too. And I found out quite quickly, no, it really doesn't work that way. Here's what it is. You can use social media for your advantage to get your content even more out there. You can go and use social media to, advertise to all sorts of people, making sure that you're hitting the correct audience. And that's something that is important. Make sure that you are not going towards a social media that does not fall for the demographic you are going for. And you're like, whoa, that's a lot of words, demographic and all that stuff. Well, remember your channel. When you think about your channel, you want to think about the person who's watching your channel or the people who you think will be interested in your channel and go after them mainly. So that means if you are, say, have an older demographic, and your older demographic is not really on Periscope or Snapchat, advertising or going after Periscope and Snapchat might not be the best thing. Does that mean you shouldn't do it because you like it? No, it just means that you're going to skew your audience by your social media. So you have to think about social media as what it is it's a place to be social. Don't always sell on social media. I know that there are a lot of places, there are a lot of people who say, you should totally just stick with business on social media. And I'm going to say no. I've found that since I switched over to being a little bit more social on my social medias, guess what? The number of people and subscribers and people watching my channel has gone up quite a bit. And that's been exciting. That's been really cool. But it's something I learned as I was doing it. That's why I want to give you this advice. Be social. Did you know YouTube is a social platform? Think of it this way. If you are not being social on YouTube, what you're doing is you're just teaching. In fact, you're not even teaching, you're lecturing and not even listening to what people are questioning. So when you get responses and that sort of thing, you get people asking you questions, respond to them. Say something back. Say, hey, yes, thank you for watching. Give them answers. If they ask you to do a video or request a video and you do it, give them a shout out. Everybody loves a shout out, but be social as one of the major things to think about. Social media is for being social. The other thing about social media is, unless you are the king and queen of all social media, you might not want to do all social media. Find which social media you like and which social media has your audience in it. Now, I've found that I like Twitter, and I've found that I like Instagram now. I didn't originally like Instagram, but I've gotten into it now, and I think it's pretty fun. I am on Pinterest, and I'm also on Tumblr. And it's been sort of like a learning curve to figure out all of these things because you have to look at each piece of social media differently. They don't all use the same thing. They're not all used in the same way. When you think about the fact that Twitter is one of those things that is, boom, here's your tweet, boom, it's gone. Because here's your tweet, somebody else's tweet, and there are all these tweets going everywhere. And it's just like, your tweet's only going to be there for a little while in their feed. Maybe they'll go to check you out. But I've found that recycling tweets is a good thing on Twitter, because on Twitter, you can recycle the tweets, and I use Tweet Jukebox because it helps me with my tweets, and it'll put them out there, and then it'll go back through older tweets and put it out there. I'll give you a link down to Tweet Jukebox, and it will show you, it'll tell you a little bit more about that. Now, Pinterest is one of those things where people go and they look up recipes and they look up things, and if you are saying, well, I do cars and guys aren't on Pinterest, guess what? Guys are becoming one of the bigger users of Pinterest now because they are looking up things on cars and that sort of stuff. So Pinterest is something like, think of it like an index card. I look things up on Pinterest and I can pin them and go back to them. So that's really cool. Tumblr and Instagram, I sort of view at those as more like pictures, and I can sort of find out more about the person I personally feel on Instagram, because I found on my Instagram that as I post more pictures about me and more pictures about what I'm doing, what's going on in my life, that people begin to follow that and look forward to it. People actually like pictures of my dogs, which is sort of cool, and they do get into some of the videos sometime, but that's sort of neat. Tumblr, I'm still working on Tumblr, but to me it's still more pictures. But I'm really getting into Instagram and Pinterest, and I love Twitter. Twitter is just so much fun. Now, Facebook is another whole world. Facebook, you really want Facebook to be more, social. It all needs to be social, which means don't sell to people all the time. And I cannot stress this enough. Put a little bit out there about you. Put a little out there about your channel. Put a little bit out there about each individual thing that is its own. There are pictures that you will see on my Instagram that you'll never see on my Twitter, and you'll never see on my Facebook, and you'll never see on my Tumblr, and the same thing for each one. So that way it's sort of individual. Now, a lot of people will say, well, then that means everybody has to follow you on all of these things, and unless they do, they'll never get to see anything. And that's sort of true, but I gear it for the audience. Does that make sense? I know it's a lot of information, and you're saying to yourself, but all I want to do is make videos. And I understand that. That's all I wanted to do, was just make videos. But I need to be discovered. My videos have to be out there so that people can find them. If they can't find them, they're not watching them. I personally think that I'm doing pretty good on my videos now. It's been an interesting year. But I have to advertise it, and I have to advertise it in a social way which doesn't feel like I'm smacking them in the face with advertisement. Social media will help you with that. Be nice in your social media, be responsive, be good, and be out there. Now, one of the things I have learned, and I'll throw a picture up, actually two. This used to be the kind of picture that I would put up. That's really cool. And now this is the kind of picture that I put up, and you might not even notice it. There's a watermark there. The watermark is my little logo, which then reminds people of, I get it. It tells them where the picture came from, so that way when they see that kind of picture, they will see my logo and think of me. Now, a lot of times you're going to say things like on, let's say, Instagram. I can put a link for my recipes on Instagram, but you're saying, but those links won't work down in the comments. Well, that's true, but they can always copy and paste. They can always go to my blog, or I can always go to my bio and that's linked back to where I want them to go. So yes, these things are important, and tags are important. Tag your pictures. Let people know if they're searching for things, what the picture is going to be about. Be honest with your tag. And don't do stupid things where you have things like, you're tagging words that have nothing to do with the picture or what you're talking about, or that sort of thing. Be social. Be honestly social. It's really can be overwhelming, and I can go into more detail about each social media. But the big thing to take away from this is to remember, if you want to get your videos seen, if you want to get a bigger audience, hit your social medias. Hit all of the ones that you like. Research and see if the social media is right for you. Is it your audience? Do you enjoy using that social media? If it's a social media you like it, but your audience is not exactly the right audience for that, try it. Maybe you'll find out that social media is the social media for you, and you'll find a new audience. Wouldn't that be cool? If you have questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know down in the comment part. Don't forget to subscribe. Every Saturday is my life on YouTube, and we're going to talk about more social media and those sort of things in the coming year. Also, you can check out my website, which I think will appear like about here, which will then you'll start seeing links for my whole life on YouTube, and you'll get other information on the blog about, what it is to do a YouTube channel and that sort of thing. Don't forget to check the description below for links and that sort of stuff, and you can check out the latest videos and go back and look at my life on YouTube and all those things. And as always, remember, running your house doesn't have to be a full-time job. Turn it into a hobby and have some fun.